Hello everyone, welcome to my channel IT and Automation Learners Hub. My name is Khaja. In today's session, I will explain different conditional looping statements, while loop, do while loop, for loop, and nested loops in Java. So these are the topics going to be covered. So first of all, what is conditional looping statement? Conditional looping statements are used to alter the flow of execution of a program by repeatedly executing some set of statements based on some condition. There are different conditional looping statements in Java like while loop, do while loop, for loop, and by using these three loops here we can also use nested loops. So coming to the first conditional looping statement, while loop. The while loop is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly until a specified condition becomes false. So here is the syntax for the while loop. Let's see how this while loop will work. So whenever we use a while loop in our program, so first the conditional statement associated to the while loop will be executed. This is the first step. The condition statement associated to this while loop will be executed. If this condition is true, then all the statements in the loop will be executed. All the statements in the while loop will be executed. Then all the statements in the while loop will be executed. This is step 2. After executing, just a moment, let me erase this. Yeah, so all the statements in the while loop will be executed. So this is step 2. All the statements will be executed. These all statements will be executed. After executing the last statement, at the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. Again the condition will be tested. So this is step 3. If the condition is true, again all the statements in the while loop will be executed. After executing last statement in the while loop, at the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, again all the statements in the while loop will be executed, and this process will be continued until the condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, then the loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement after the while statement. So like this, in these 4 different steps, the while statement will work. And here we have 2 properties for while loop. One is while loop is also called as entry checking loop or entry check loop. Another one is if the condition becomes false at the beginning of the loop, then the while loop will be executed for 0 times. In other words, if the condition becomes false at the beginning of the loop, then the while loop will not be executed at all. So these steps will give the same explanation whatever I have explained now. Let's write a sample program for this while loop. By using while loop, I'm writing a program to display all the even numbers below number 10. So what is the maximum range here? The 10. So I am storing this 10 in a variable num, and to display all the even numbers, I am taking one more variable I. The first even number is, even numbers are nothing but 0, not 0, 2, I don't know, 0 is also an even number, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So these all are the even numbers below or equal to 10. Okay, in between until 10, here we have these 5 even numbers. So first even number is 2. I am storing that value in variable I, and maximum number here is 10. So here I am taking 10 in a variable num. Now here I am specifying the while condition. Here while I is less than or equal to n. So here I is having value 2 now, and 2 is less than or equal to num. Num is having value 10. So 2 is less than or equal to 10. So the condition is true. Here the condition is true. That's why we will enter into this while block, and we will display the value I. I is having 2. 2 will be displayed. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. I'm increasing the value of I by 2. Now I will become 4. And at the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. I is less than. So let me explain this whole execution process by using some variables, by using some tracing kind of thing, program tracing. So here I am taking the variable num, and I am taking another variable I, and I am taking the output. Whatever output I need to display, I am taking this output here. Okay, so here the number is num is stored with here we have stored 10 in number. So this is the maximum number till which we need to display the even numbers. And here I am taking the first even number, that is 2. I am storing the first even number in variable I. Like this, I have taken 2 variables. Now here I need to display the output. So after these 2 statements, here even numbers are, I am displaying some message, and after this I am writing while statement like this: while I is less than or equal to num. I is having value 2 and num is having value 10. So 2 is less than or equal to 10. So it is true. 2 is not greater than 10. It is less than 10 only. So it is true. So when the condition is true, so we will enter into this loop. We will enter into the while loop, and we will execute all the statements in the while loop. So first statement is system.out.println I. I am displaying value of I. I am printing value of I. What is value of I? 2. So this will be printed on the output screen. 2 will be printed. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. I am increasing the value of I by 2. I am adding 2 to existing value of I. That is, I is already having 2. I am adding 2 to it. So it is having 2 already. So 2 plus 2, 4. Now I becomes how much? I am storing 2 plus 2, 4 in I. So now I value becomes 4. Now it is the end of the loop. At the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. Here again, I is less than or equal to number. So I value is how much now? Now the I value is 4. I value is 4 here. So I value is 4, and 4 is less than or equal to number. Number is 10. So 4 is less than or equal to 10. The condition is true. Again, we will enter into the while loop. Here I am printing the value of I. What is the value of I now? 4. I am printing 4. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. So the same statement we can write like I plus equal to 2. I plus equal to 2 is nothing but I is equal to I plus 2. Now I am incrementing value of I by 2. So already I is having value 4, and 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 how much? Already I is having value how much? 4. We have I value 4 and plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So the 6 will be stored in variable I. So I will become 6. And now the end of the loop. At the end of the loop, again condition will be tested. And now we are validating condition. I is less than or equal to number. So I is having how much value? I is having value 6. 6 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. So we will enter into the while loop. And here in the while loop, the first statement is printing of value I. We are printing value of I. So what is value of I here? 6. We are printing 6. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. Now I will become, I is already having value 6. 6 plus 2 means how much it will become? 8. So 6, I is having already value 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. So 8 will be stored in variable I. Now it is the end of the loop. At the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. Now I is less than or equal to number. I value is 8 and number is 10. So 8 is less than or equal to 10. It's true. Again we will enter into the loop. System.out.println I am displaying the whatever value in I. So I is having which value? No, 8. I am displaying 8. And I'm increasing the value of I by 10. So that is nothing but, sorry, I'm increasing the value of I by 2. So I is already having 8. Now I'm adding 2 to I plus 2 means 8 plus 2, which is equal to 10. 10 will be stored in variable I. So now I will have the value 10. Now the condition will be tested. Again, at the end of the loop, again condition will be tested. Now I is less than or equal to num. So I is having how much? 10. I is having value 10. And 10 is less than or equal to num. So 10 is not less than 10, but 10 is equal to 10. Hence, the condition is true. 10 is equal to true. So the condition is true. So 10 is equal to 10. The condition is true. We will again enter into the loop. Here, print the value of I. We are printing the value of I. Whatever value the I is having 10, we are printing 10 here. And after that, I am increasing the value of I by 2. That is, I is having I is already having 10 and I am adding 2, means it will become 10 plus 2, 12. So the I value becomes 12. And at the end of, it is the end of the loop. At the end of the loop, again condition will be tested. I is less than or equal to n. I is having value 12 and 12 is less than or equal to 10. It is 12 is not less than 10 and at the same time 12 is not equal to 10. So here the condition is false. When the condition is false, we will come out of the loop. And when the condition is false, the loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement. The control will be transferred to the next statement. The loop will be terminated, the control will be transferred to the next statement. So when the value of I is 12, the loop has terminated. So at the end of the loop, execution, so what value we got? What output we got? This is the output. So what are all these values? All the even numbers, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So like this, here we use the while loop in Java programs. Let's execute this program. So I'm creating one class, Alt Shift N, creating one class name is while loop. I'm taking the main function and finish. Okay, so I'm writing the program like this. I'm taking two variables, int num, I'm storing value 10 in that, and I'm taking one more variable I, I'm storing value 2 in that. So I'm displaying some message, system.println even numbers are I'm displaying some message, and now I'm writing the while loop. While condition is while I is less than or equal to number, begin system.out.println print I. I'm printing value of I, and after that I'm increasing the value of I plus equal to 2, I, which is nothing but I is equal to I plus 2, is equal to I is equal to I plus 2. Okay, I plus equal to 2. So after that, here I am writing one statement, program end. I'm writing statement like this, program end. So let me execute this program. See, it is displaying the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The program end. So like this, here we write, here we use the while statement in Java program. Now let's go to the one more loop. One more loop is the do while loop. The do while loop statement is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly until a specified condition becomes false. So this is the syntax for the do while loop. So let's see how this do while loop will work. So whenever we use a do while loop statement in a program, first all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. So all the statements, these are all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. This is step 1. After executing last statement in do while loop, and at the end of the loop, the condition will be tested. So this is the condition testing is the second step here. After executing last statement at the end of the loop, the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, if this condition is true, then again all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. This is step 3. All the statements in the do while loop will be executed. Again at the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, again all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. This process will be continued until the condition becomes false. If the condition is false, then the loop will be, do while loop will be terminated, and the control will be transferred to the next statement after the do while statement. So this is step 4. So here in do while statement, first all the statements associated to the do while loop will be executed. After executing the last statement, at the end of the loop, the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, then again all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. After executing the last statement at the end of the loop, again condition will be tested. If the condition is true, again all the statements will be executed. This process will be continued until the condition becomes false. If the condition is false, then the loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement after the do while statement. Here, do while statement is having again two properties. One is do while loop is also called as exit checking loop or exit check loop. And if the condition becomes false at the beginning of the loop, then the loop will be executed for one time. Do while loop will be executed a minimum of one time, even though the condition becomes false at the beginning. Because the condition is kept at the end of the loop body. So before checking the condition, the loop has been executed for first time. So that's why if the condition becomes false at the beginning of the loop, then the loop will be executed for one time. So these are the same statements what I have explained now. Now let's write a program for this do while statement. Here I am displaying all the odd numbers below or equal to 10. Less than or equal to 10, I am displaying all the odd numbers. So for this, again, I am taking a variable num and I am storing the value 10 in that. And here I am taking a variable I and in that I am storing value 1. So odd numbers are nothing but 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So these all are the odd numbers below 10. So let's see how this program works. So I'm taking the variable num again. I'm taking variable num and I'm taking variable I also, and I'm displaying the output. I'm printing output on the screen as per the loop execution. So here we have taken two variables, num and I. I am storing value 10 in num and I am storing value 1, which is the first odd number in variable I. Oh, no. Let me change this. Let me modify this statement. So here this is for do while loop, right? So I need to change this is not control X. So this is not exact syntax. Okay. So do while statement always terminates with a semicolon. Do while statement always terminates with a semicolon. Okay, coming to do while loop. So here I'm taking the variable num and I. I'm storing value 10 in num and value 1 in I. Now, so here we are using do while loop. So in do while loop, just a moment, let me check the syntax. Yeah, syntax is correct. So first, here we are displaying the value of 5. We are entering into the do while loop. So in do while loop, first all the statements in the do while loop will be executed. The first statement is we are printing the value of 5. What is the value of 5? I stored 1. So I am printing value 1 here. I'm printing in the output screen, I'm printing value 1. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. So I is having already how much? 1. 1 plus 2 means 1 plus 2. How much? It is 3, right? So I is already having value 1. Sorry, guys. So I is already having value 1. I am adding 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 means 3. So 3 will be stored into variable I. You can write 1 like this. Okay. So 3 will be stored into variable I. Now it is end of the loop. At the end of the loop, the do while condition will be tested. So I is less than or equal to num. I is having which value now? 3. 3 is less than or equal to num. Num is having which value? 10. 3 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, true. Again, we will enter into the while loop, do while loop. Here, we will execute all the statements again. System.out.println I, we are printing the value of I. How much I value now? 3, we are printing 3. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. I is already having 3 now, and 3 plus 2 means it will become 5. 5. And after that, we will check the condition. At the end of the loop, the condition will be tested. So here we are checking condition will be tested. So here we are testing the condition. I is less than or equal to 10. So what is the value of I now? 3. So 3 is less than or equal, not 3, sorry. Value of I is 5. 5 is less than or equal to 10. True. Again, we will enter into the loop. And we will display the value of I. Value of I is 5. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. I is already having 5. 5 plus 2 means 7. So I contains the value 7. And after that, end of the loop. At the end of the loop, we are testing the condition. So I is less than or equal to number. So I is having now 7, and 7 is less than or equal to 10. True. Again, enter into the do while loop. So in the first statement, again we'll execute. Print I. What is I value now? 7. We are printing value 7. We are printing value 7. I value we are printing. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. What is I value? I is already having 7, and 7 plus 2 means 9. So we are storing value 9 in variable I. And after that, end of the loop. At the end of the loop, we will test the condition. I is less than or equal to number. I is having value 9 and number is having value 10. 9 is less than or equal to 10. True. Again, we will enter into the loop. System.out.println print I. So what is value of I now? 9. I am printing 9. And after that, I is equal to I plus 2. I is having value 9 and plus 2 means 9 plus 2, it will become 11. 11 will be stored into variable I. So I am storing 11. And after that, at the end of the loop, I am testing the condition. 11, I is less than or equal to number. I is less than or equal to number. So I is having value 11 and number is having value 10. So 11 is not less than 10 and even 11 is not equal to 10. Hence the condition will fall. Condition is false. Hence the condition is false. So now the loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement. Now this statement will be executed. Okay. So at the end of the loop, so here when value of I is 11, the loop has terminated. So at the end of the loop, what happened? This output has displayed. So what is the output? This is our required output 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, the odd numbers below 10. So like this, here we use the do while loop in Java programs. Let's execute a program using do while loop. So let me create a class. Do while loop. I am taking the main function, main method. I am taking two variables. I am taking two variables int num. I am storing value 10 in num and I am storing value 1 in I. Now system.out.println odd numbers are I'm writing the do while loop do begin here system.out.println, I am printing the value of I first, and after that I plus equal to 2. I plus equal to 2. And after this I'm writing and here we are specifying the condition while I is less than or equal to number. And the do while loop condition, in do while loop the while condition should be terminated with semicolon, otherwise it will throw an error. Program and let's execute this program. See, it is displaying odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 between 10, below 10. Odd numbers below 10 are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So like this, here we use the do while loop statement in Java. Let's go to the one more statement, for loop. So here the first statement will execute, another statement is the for loop. The first statement will execute a set of statements repeatedly for specified number of times based on some condition. So here we use for loop to execute a particular to execute set of statements for specified number of times, for fixed number of times. If you want to execute for fixed number of times, here we use for loop. Okay, for loop is basic here. This is the syntax of for loop. So let's see how this for loop works. So the for loop contains the 4 parts. One is the initialization statement. This is number 1. Another one is the conditional statement, and third one is increment or decrement statement. After that, it will have the body of statements, block of statements to be executed. Let's see how these statements, how this for loop will work. So first, the initialization statement will be executed first. Initialization statement will be executed first, and after that the conditional statement will be executed. If the condition is evaluated to true, then all the statements in the for loop will be executed. If the condition is true, then all the statements in the for loop will be executed. So this is step 3. All the statements in the for loop will be executed. If the condition is true, then all the statements in the for loop will be executed. After executing the last statement in the for loop and at the end of the loop, again the condition will be tested. After executing last statement in the for loop, the increment or decrement statement will be executed. At the end of the loop, the increment or decrement statement will be executed. At the end of the loop, increment or decrement statement will be executed. After increment or decrement statement, again the condition statement will be executed. After increment decrement statement, again the condition statement will be executed. This is step 5. If the condition is true, again the loop will be executed. After executing at the end of the loop, again the increment decrement statement will be executed. After increment decrement statement, again the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, again all the statements in the for loop will be executed. At the end of the loop, again increment decrement statement will be executed. After increment decrement statement, again the conditional statement will be executed. So this process will be continued until the condition becomes false. If the condition becomes false, then for loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement after the for statement. This is step 6. So like this for loop will execute. So for statement will contain 3 parts: initialization statement, conditional statement, and increment or decrement statement, and the body of block of statements, some block of statements. So first the initialization statement will be executed, and after that conditional statement will be executed. And if the condition is true, then all the statements in the loop body will be executed. And at the end of the loop, the increment decrement statement will be executed. After the increment decrement statement, again the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, then again all the statements in the for loop will be executed. At the end of the loop, again increment decrement statement will be executed. After increment decrement statement, again the conditional statement will be executed, and this process will be continued until the condition becomes false. If the condition becomes false, then the for loop will be terminated and the control will be transferred to the next statement after the for loop statement. So here this increment decrement statement and initialization statement, and these two statements will be used by using one variable called as loop counter variable. So here are some properties about the for loop statement. For loop is basically used to process array elements. In for loop, a loop counter variable is used to count the number of times the loop is executed. If the condition becomes false at the beginning of the loop, then the for loop will be executed for 0 times. So these are some properties. So these are the same statements what I have explained now. So now let's write a sample program for the for loop by using the for loop. So in this program, I am displaying first n natural numbers. Here I am taking n value 10. Here I am taking n value 10. So first 10 natural numbers I am going to display here. So this is not correct. No need to consider this I value here. Yeah, okay, we can take no problem. Let me erase this. Okay, so here I am taking, let's see how this program works. Okay, I am by using the for statement, I am displaying natural numbers. Natural numbers are nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, like this till like this till 10 I am displaying. So these are all the natural numbers till 10. Okay. So till 10 I want to display the natural numbers. So for this, let's see how this program will work, how this program will execute. So I'm taking variable number, number. I'm taking variable one number, and in that I'm storing value 10. And after that, I'm taking variable I. So in variable I, in the for loop, how for loop will execute? The initialization statement will execute. So this is the initialization statement. I is equal to 1. Now we are storing value 1 in variable I. And I is less than or equal to 10. So 1 is less than or equal to 10. Second statement is conditional statement. This is the initialization statement. This is conditional statement. This is increment statement. So here, do you remember, this is the increment operator. Plus plus is an increment operator. We discussed about this in operators concept. We already discussed about this in operators concept. So I is equal to 1. I is less than or equal to 10 means 1 is less than or equal to 10. True. So we will enter into the loop. Here we are displaying value of I. So output value of I am displaying 1. And after that, this is the end of the loop. At the end of the loop, the increment decrement statement will be executed. This is I plus plus. So what plus plus operator will do? It will increase the value of variable by 1. Let us suppose I is having value 1, then it will increase it to, it will make it 2. If I is having value 2, then it will become 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay. So I am using I plus plus, means I value will be increased by 1. So I is already having 1, it will become 2. And now again condition will be tested. So I is less than or equal to 10. 2 is less than or equal to 10. True. So enter into the loop. Display, print the value of I. What is the value of I now? 2. We are printing value 2. End of the loop. At the end of the loop, increment statement will be executed. I plus plus. I is already having 2. It will become 3. I will become 3. And after increment statement, condition will be tested. I is less than or equal to 10, 3 is less than or equal to 10, true. So again enter into the loop and print the value of I. I value will be printed. And this process will be continued. This process will be continued. Let us suppose now I value become 9. Let us suppose I value become 9. And here we have printed till 8. Let us suppose we have printed till 8. Now I value become 9. So I plus plus I value became 9. And here I am testing, I am checking the condition. It is not working. It is okay. Okay, no problems. Okay, so now I became 9 and we are testing the condition. 9 is less than or equal to 10. 9 is less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. So we will enter into the loop and the value of I will be printed. What is the value of I? So it is 9. 9 will be printed. And after that, at the end of the loop, again the increment statement will be executed. So now I is having value 9, it will become 10. Here we are checking 10 is less than or equal to 10. That is true. So again the I will be printed and we will display 10. Again the I will become 11. I plus plus. I will become 11. 11 is less than or equal to 10. So 11 is not less than 10 and 11 is not equal to 10. So the condition is false and the for loop will be terminated. So like this the for loop will work. Let's write a sample program for this for loop. Let's write a program for loop. I'm taking two variables, int number and int I. Natural numbers are, getting some message, natural numbers are. Now here I'm using the for loop where I is equal to 1. This is the initialization statement. Semicolon. I is less than or equal to number. This is the conditional statement, and I plus plus. This is the increment statement. And here I'm printing the value of y. I'm printing the value of I. And here I'm storing the value 10 into variable n. So after this, I'm writing one statement, program end. Program end. Let's execute this program. It is displaying natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Till 10 is displaying all the natural numbers. Like this, here we use the for loop in Java. Okay. Now let's go to the another concept. So here we have the one more type of for loop, that is for each loop. So it is similar to for loop. For each loop also we can use. It is similar to for loop, but instead of declaring and initializing a loop counter variable, a normal variable will be declared in for each loop. This normal variable will be used to process all the array elements without using any array index numbers. It is commonly used to iterate an array or collections class like array list. So here we have some example for int I colon array name, and here we are displaying the array value, array elements, just system.out.println I. So here this I statement, this I value will directly display the values in an array. So the same statement can be written with a normal for loop like this. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to array name dot length I plus plus system.out.println array name of I. So basically, if we comes to the arrays concept, at that time I will clearly explain about this for each loop and how it works. Okay, as of now, just I want to give I want to let you know there is one more flavor of for loop, that is for each loop. So when we comes into the arrays concept, at that time I will explain this for each loop. And the concept is nested loops. So here nested loops means if one looping statement contains another looping statement, then it is called nested loop. The loop that contains another loop is called the outer loop, and the loop that is inside the another loop is called inner loop. Okay, and here in nested loops, any loop can contain any other loop. Like while loop can contain another while loop, or do while loop, or for loop. Similarly, do while loop can contain another do while loop, or while loop, or for loop. Similarly, a for loop can contain another for loop, or while loop, or do while loop. So whatever loop can contain whatever another loop. But the condition here is for each iteration of the external loop, the internal loop will be executed completely. So here let me close this slideshow and let me restart. Yes. Yes. Any for loop can contain any loop can contain any another loop. If one loop contains another loop, then it is called nested loop. So this loop is this. Something went wrong. Okay. So this loop, this outer loop is called as the external loop. So this loop is called as the external loop, and this loop is the second loop is inside the outer loop, right? So this loop is called as the internal loop. So for each iteration of the external loop, the internal loop will be executed completely. Internal loop will be executed completely. So here the one for loop is inside one for loop inside another for loop. Here we can write like this also. One while loop can contain another while loop, and similarly one do while loop can contain another do while loop. Similarly, while loop can contain some do while loop, and do while loop can contain some while loop, like that. So any loop can contain any other loop. Any loop can contain any other loop. So let's write a sample program for this nested loops. So here my program is, I want to display output like this: 1. In the first line I want to display 1. In the second line I want to display 1, 2. In the third line I want to display 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the fifth line I want to display 5 numbers. Fourth line 4 numbers. Third line 3 numbers. Second line 2 numbers. First line 1 number. Like that, by using nested loops. Okay. Let's write this program. Let me create a class nested loops. Nested loops. And let me take main method. Just a minute. Okay. So I'm taking two variables, and I want to know the number of lines I want to display. So I'm taking that in n, variable n. Let us suppose I want 5 lines to display. I want to display 5 lines, and I'm taking one variable I and the variable j. So variable I is used as a loop counter variable for external loop, and variable j is used as a loop counter variable for internal loop. Okay, and so I'm storing value 1 in variable I, while I'm using while statement, nested while loops, while I is less than or equal to n, while I is less than or equal to n, while I'm writing one more loop, and before that j is equal to 1. I'm taking one more variable, j is equal to 1. I'm assigning value to j, and j is less than or equal to I. I'm writing the condition like this. I'm taking condition like this. Now system dot out dot println, I am displaying the value of I. Display, and I'm just printing. I'm using print statement. Okay, I'm using print like this. So I want some spaces also. So plus like this. I'm printing some. I'm giving some space. I'm printing in same line. So and here after this, I will make it as j plus plus. I'm writing j plus plus in the inner loop, and in the external loop I plus plus. I'm making I plus plus semicolon, and before the loop I am displaying system dot out dot println. Just I am giving the new line statement. So simply here I am using like this. So here my expected output is like this. I want to display like this. 1 as I shown you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let me trace till 3. I will show you how it works till 3. I am taking the variables now. Let's see how this program works. Okay. So I am taking variable n, and I am taking variable I, and I am taking variable j, and I am taking output. How output is displayed. So here in variable n, I am storing value 5. 5 lines I want to display, and I'm taking initial value 1 for j. Okay, 1 for I. I'm storing value 1 for I. After that, so here I'm giving some output. Required output is, so now it will be displayed. Required output will be displayed here. Okay. So I'm taking variables like this. Okay, let me remove these comments. Let me put some comments here. Okay. So here variable in I am storing value 1, and while I is less than or equal to n, I am specifying the condition. I is less than or equal to n. I is having how much value? 1, and n is having value 5. So 1 is less than or equal to 5. True. We will enter into the outer loop. This is outer loop. This is outer loop. Outer loop. And this is the inner loop. This is inner loop. Outer loop and inner loop. Okay. While I is less than or equal to n, 1 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. We will enter into this outer loop. In the outer loop, I am initializing value j. So j value is 1. I am initializing like 1. And after that, while j is less than or equal to I, j value is 1. Here j value is 1 and I value is also 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 1. True. So now we will enter into the inner loop and we are displaying the value of j. What is j value? 1. We are displaying value of j is 1. I am displaying 1. Okay. And after this, here j plus plus, I am increasing the value of j. After displaying j value, I am increasing the value of j. Now j will become j plus plus. J plus plus means j value will become 2. Now j value will become 2. And this is the end of the, now this is the end of the inner loop. At the end of the loop, condition will be tested. What is the condition? J is less than or equal to I. What is j value now? 2. 2 is less than or equal to 1. False. So this inner loop will be terminated. We will come out of this loop. Condition is false. So here the condition is false. Condition is false. So we will come out of this loop. From this loop, we will come out of this loop and control will be transferred to here. To this statement. Here I plus plus. I value is already 1. Now I value will become 2. I value will become 2 now. And after that, there is one new line statement. So cursor will be here. Now the cursor will comes to this place. Now cursor will comes to this place. Next, this is the end of the outer loop. So here you can see this is the end of the outer loop. At the end of the outer loop, again the condition will be tested. That is I is less than or equal to n. Now I value is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. So condition true. Again we will enter into the outer loop and again we are initializing j value as 1. So now I am initializing j value 1. And after that we are specifying the condition inner loop. J is less than or equal to I. What is j value? 1 and I value is 2. 1 is less than or equal to 2. Condition is true. We will enter into the inner loop. So here we will display the value of j. So now j value cursor is here. I am displaying value of j. J is how much? 1 now. J is 1. J value is 1. And after that j plus plus. Now j value will become 2. Now j value will become 2. And this is the end of the internal loop. Inner loop. So at the end of the loop, condition is tested. J is less than or equal to I. J is value is now 2. 2 is less than or equal to 2. True. Again, we will enter into the inner loop. Here we will display the value of J. So here J value will be displayed. It is a print statement. It will be displayed after a space side by side. 2 will be displayed. And after this, J plus plus. Now J value will become 3. J is already having 2. Now it will become 3. Now end of the inner loop. At the end of the inner loop, the condition will be tested. J is less than or equal to I. 3 is less than or equal to I. False. Condition false. We will come out of this inner loop. Now, so here the condition becomes false. We will come out of this inner loop. And I plus plus. Now I value will become 3. So like this, here the complete loop will be executed and it will become the values like this. I value becomes 3 and here it will become 2, 3 and condition will tested till 4. 4 is less than or equal to 3, false. So like this. So here the output will be displayed. In the next line, the output will be displayed like this. 1, 2, 3. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like this here, all the values will be, now here I value will become 4. Like this here, all the values will be displayed. So I have shown for the first 2 lines, the same process will be implemented for remaining lines also. So like this here we use the nested loops. So let me execute this program. I'm just commenting all the statements, unnecessary statements. So here also comments. This is also not required. I think no more errors now. So let me execute this program. See, it is displaying the value 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I take 10, will display till 10 like this. Okay. Like this here, we can use the nested loops. Like this here, we use nested loops. So this is about the different conditional looping statements in Java: while loop, do while loop, for loop, and nested loops. Okay. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. In the next session, we will come up with some another interesting Java concept. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like, share, and give your valuable comments. Thank you.